Hey, True Believers, England here with another episode of... Oh, I forgot. It's not Marvel vs. DC anymore, is it? It's Comic Book Showdown. Alrighty, and this is where basically you see all these books and all these things passing by here. I've read all of them. Yes. And did a little bit of a 30, maybe 40-second review of each one, just to give you a good idea of is it good, is it bad, and why is it good or bad. If I did a full review on this video alone, it would be 4 hours. And then I ranked them. Worst to best. You got 1 star, which are horrible, 2 stars, which is bad, 3 stars, which is average, 4 stars, which is good, and 5 stars, excellent. And then ranked them from worst to best. And yes, that's the order you're going to see the reviews in. And there you go. And I figure, what the heck? Let's see who wins the week. Is it Marvel? Is it DC or Independence? So there you go. We're going to let the comic book covers go by because these are the issues I reviewed, and from here on in, let's get this party started. The 1-star books are awful and you should avoid them at all cost. Captain America number 19. I just wanted to visit it, see if it was as bad as I remember, because I was actually saying Ta-Nehisi Coates' run was better than Mark Waid's, and wow, that didn't last long now, did it? This time around, we've basically got Ta-Nehisi Coates telling us that women have been running the world, even though he also says they're oppressed. Figure that one out, gang. I'm too busy reading good comics. This isn't a good comic. The 2-star books are merely bad. They could have been awful, but they had that one thing that saved them from that fate. Amethyst number 1. I wanted to like this a lot more than I did. This is, oh my goodness. Amethyst comes off like a very spoiled child here. I mean, I don't like the word entitled. I think it's BS the way it's being used, but man, it would so fit this character. Absolutely useless. It looks good. At the very least, there's some decent art, but beyond that, nothing of worth. The 3-star books are average. Either I liked them, but not good enough to recommend them, or they just didn't resonate with me one way or the other. So Nebula breaks into this scientist's office because he made something that would let her see the future, and then a time cop sort of cyborg shows up to keep people from being able to see the future, and I'm thinking, there are already people who do that. Are you going around killing all of them? Because it's been a while that the Marvel Universe has been running and we've never seen you before. It's okay. There's nothing really special about Nebula, but nothing bad about it either. Hidden Society is, well, we've seen it before. There's a hidden magical society that protects the world from evil. And the whole twist here is we see this person come up, kill someone, and they're like, oh, that's the bad guy. No, not really. And there you go. I mean, that's it. It's a recruitment drive, the entire issue. It's, they made a comic book, gang. You should applaud them for that. Year of the Villain, Hell Arisen number 3. I've got to admit, I don't read this series. I haven't anyway. And I got to tell you, I don't think I'm missing much, in all honesty. Yeah, I read this because it is supposedly the first full appearance of Joker's girlfriend, but still, she's only a couple of panels. But the story itself, as they go into the Joker's mind, has been told better in other places. This is passable. I don't know, maybe if I've been following the whole storyline Year of the Villain, maybe if I've been following it better, I would like it more, but as it is, The Army of Darkness, well, Death to the Army of Darkness, number 1. This is basically Ash at S-Mart telling the next 5th grader that came in to work with him his story, and then all of a sudden the Deadites show up and all higgledy-piggledy takes place where basically a whole bunch of multiverse Ash jump in. It's as fun as any Army of Darkness thing I've seen, but unfortunately I've seen it all before. There's not a lot new beyond the multiverse Ashes. The Green Lantern, Season 2, number 1. That's what they're calling it now, huh? Seasons. Anyway, this is, okay. What we have here is hey, we're going to recruit, and then you get the recruit coming in, makes a lot of mistakes. They still solve the case, and the recruit's like, no, I guess I can't be a part of the team. And then the Green Lantern's like, you could still be a part of our team. You made it. You're in. It's that kind of story. Archie meets the B-52s. In this one, the B-52s are coming to Riverdale. They want the Archies to play, but oh no, the Archies have broken up. So what they do, they go around trying to trick all of the members to get back into a reunion. This is classic Archie style, classic Archie humor, the whole 9 yards. I would have preferred them to, I don't know what I would have liked, but it's good, but it's not great. Wolverine is basically 2 different stories. The first one starts with him and he's killed all the X-Men, and it's kind of told, it starts there, but then we go back and we find out what happened. The second one has Omega Red being welcomed into their little nation there, and he ends up fighting vampires. Wolverine, not Omega Red. Neither one of them are bad, but in all honesty, I guess the vampire is a little bit better in the first one, but neither one of them are really trailblazing either. It's, yeah, I mean, there you go. It's a good book, but I'm not going to be putting my reputation on it. Wonder Woman Dead Earth, part of the Black Label imprint, is a continuation, obviously. The first issue I did not care for too much. This one is an improvement. I like this issue. We found out that the big monsters are actually deformed Amazonian women. Go figure. And Wonder Woman is all of a sudden not wanting to kill them, which of course is bad news for the humans she's helping. It is an improvement. It's not great, but at least it's in the right direction. Daredevil number 17 goes a long way to prove that the last few issues were a fluke. I'm very happy about that. We see a mob hit on Hammerhead of all things. I'm thinking Dick Tracy, not Daredevil. And also, of course, we've got Matt trying to convince Foggy and everybody around him, I'm not Daredevil. I'm just doing everything Daredevil does, but in a different outfit. And yeah, they're not buying it. It's not bad. It is definitely an improvement among what has been happening before. Winter Soldier and Falcon. So they go to investigate a murder and they find out that this kid did it. And he's like, oh, you guys are my heroes, but, you know, I'm with Hydra and they hired me to kill. And he just starts ripping them apart. I'm thinking, okay, they're not mentioning the kid has any powers. So how could he take down Winter Soldier? Basically, you need to know more about this guy. Even at the end, he's like, oh, next time I'll kill you. Why aren't you killing them now? It just didn't make any sense with this new kid coming out. It's not a bad book, mind you. I actually enjoyed it. Just way too many questions that for some reason I think they're not going to answer. The 4-star books are good, and I am happy to recommend these to you. Aquaman number 57. Man, this has a lot to do with office politics, basically. It really does, with Mira being out of commission because of the pregnancy, and everybody saying, well, it's got to be you. You're in charge, blah, blah, blah. You would think this would be a boring book. It's not, because you really care for the well-being of Mira plus the royal baby, basically. It's a good balance, as a matter of fact. Kids turned out to be pretty good. Yeah, wow, do they lean into the Goonies. But at least the book is decent. At least it's enjoyable. It's entertaining. It's a zombie apocalypse film, or comic book. And in all honesty, it seems as if it might be stealing a lot of themes from Lord of the Flies. I don't know if that's the direction they're going in. I think it would be really cool if it did, but I'm willing to go on the ride and see where they take it. Ghostbusters Year 1, number 1. This book is just a ton of fun. We get to see Winston's story, basically from the beginning, like even the parts that we haven't seen before, we get to see a little bit in between what we had seen in the movies. It was pretty cool because you don't get that from Winston in the films, so it's kind of filling in the blanks here, and I think it works really well in that capacity. Not to mention, it's just a fun comic. Detective Comics 1020. Dude, this is an odd duck of a book because I'm like, it's not bad, I guess. And then all of a sudden I realize, holy Toledo, Two-Face is starting a religion with him as the central figure. Now I'm interested. Now that's pretty freaking awesome, to tell you the truth. And you think, why haven't any of these guys thought of that before? I mean, they touched upon a religion of Superman, but damn. Anyway, a lot of fun, and I am enjoying where this is going. Amazing Spider-Man number 40 continues exactly where 39 left off, and while Spider-Man is fighting the bad guy, J. Jonah Jameson is still trying to hold the interview, and I thought it was kind of a cool dialogue between the two of them where he's like, yeah, of course I'm still trying to interview you. When would you ever get this kind of opportunity. You ask them, like, where are the quips coming from? Is it out of fear and all that kind of stuff? The dialogue makes this book, but the book is good. Ant-Man #2. This continues good old-fashioned fun. I liked the first issue. I thought it was simple. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was a very enjoyable book, and this continues it. I'm a big fan of Swarm since I saw him in Amazing Spider-Man is Amazing Friends. This is him versus big insect monsters, and it works. It really does. Check this out. The dialogue is priceless as well in here. Usagi Yojimbo Color Classics is a reprint series that reprints Usagi Yojimbo just in color. Hey, it works that way, right? So anyway, this is the retelling of the first issue where basically we see how he becomes trained. This is where he meets up with a guy who's going to train him, and it's excellent writing. You can tell the art is just fan-freaking-tastic. Yes, it is an anamorphic animal book, but dude, you should be reading this. Joker Harley #3 is a good look into how a Joker could be made. Yes, just like the Joker movie itself, we're getting this version's story and how he grew up sociopath and all that. This is not a one bad day kind of Joker, and it plays well. You know, we've seen a lot of kind of different Batman. I guess that we could get a lot of different kind of Joker. This is one, and it's done well enough. Art is good, story is good, book is good. Justice League #41 continues a very good story from issue #40. The one thing I had that wasn't quite into was how quickly the Flash was taken down. I understand the Daxamites have the same powers as Superman, but dude, it's the Flash, and he saw him coming. Should have at least had a race. That being said, it ends on an excellent cliffhanger, and I am so jazzed for the next issue. And the 5-star books are excellent. They may not be Watchmen or Dark Knight quality, but man, they do the job they were set out to do. Usagi Yojimbo Color Classics #2 has Usagi and his master walking around, and they are accosted by some Ronin who do not believe that the master is actually a samurai. So they put a knife to the throat of Usagi and tell him, cut off the nose. Once again, well-written story, great art, and it's just so much fun to read. There's more to it as they go into an archery competition. You should check it out. X-Force 2 continues to be an excellent series. I love this issue as the Fantastic Four finally got the balls and took it upon themselves to attack Krakoa and get their daughter back, of course, or their son and their daughter back. And, yeah, it goes about as well as you would think, although I do think there's a little bit too much, oh my gosh, we can't do this without Sue, and we should see exactly how powerful Reed Richards is because of how smart he is. Still, great book. Hag #2, dude, and you hear this all the time. Oh my gosh, that movie was, the comic book was option for a movie. That comic book was option for a movie, and then you see the book go way up in value and everything like that. And it's not just because I have these books, but this is a great horror film waiting to be told in movie form as well. It is so good at creating atmosphere. This is absolutely 100% what you want out of a horror comic. So there you go. Those were the reviews. And yes, Hag did end up being my #1 book. So let's find out who wins. Is it Marvel, is it DC, or is it the independents? Marvel had comic books in positions 24, 22, 16, 14, 13, 7, 6, and 2 for a score of 94. Independent Comics had comic books at positions 21, 19, 17, 10, 9, 5, 3, and 1 for a score of 104. And DC Comics had comic books in positions 23, 18, 15, 11, 8, 4, 3, and 2 for a score of 115, making DC Comics the winner. And yes, I'm biased towards the characters, but not towards the book. Good is good, bad is bad, and this time around, DC had some really strong contenders, even if they didn't have the #1 book, which was Hag. So there you go, guys. That is that. What do you think? Did I score something too high, too low? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, ring that notification bell if you haven't done it already. And if you don't mind helping out the channel, going over to Patreon or to Ko-Fi, drop $1 in our tip jar. You can even click on one of the videos that are popping up, and that would help out the channel as well. I'd like to thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.